Camille from Camilleiam. It's January and a bunch of you have probably started your New Year's resolutions, and of course the most common New Year's resolution is to start eating healthy. I know when I'm eating healthy, I kind of just miss the excitement of eating food. A lot of unhealthy foods like desserts and stuff like that are a lot more colorful and exciting than healthy foods. So today I'm going to be showing you a couple of my favorite healthy foods along with how I make them more exciting. But before we start this video, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below letting me know what your New Year's resolution is, and let's get onto the video. For my first healthy recipe, we will be making banana nice cream. To make this, put 2 frozen bananas into a food processor. I prepped these the night before by peeling them and cutting them in half and then putting them in the freezer in a plastic bag. And then before I make the ice cream, I would just let the bag sit out for a little bit so that the bananas can thaw, and then put them right into the food processor. Once the bananas are pretty creamy, I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. I'm adding about 1/2 teaspoon, and then I'm going to keep blending it in the food processor until all of the chunks are gone. To make the texture more like ice cream, I like to put it in a container and then put it in the freezer for about an hour. Out of the freezer, and then you can scoop it and serve it up. What I really like about this recipe is that you can flavor it any way you want. One of my favorite ways to flavor it is by making a protein chocolate peanut butter flavor. To make this flavor, you're going to do the same process that you did before. Then once the bananas have been blended smooth, I like to add 3 tablespoons of chocolate protein powder and 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter. Then I do the same thing by putting it in a container and freezing it for about an hour. I really like this ice cream because it really curbs that craving that I always have for chocolate. I'm seriously obsessed with this next recipe. It kind of sounds weird, but I'm going to show you how to make green bean fries. First, we're going to make the batter for the fries. I'm just taking 1 egg and then taking a fork to whisk it up to break up the egg yolk. And then I usually add some salt. And finally, I'm going to add a couple handfuls of Parmesan cheese. Next, you're going to be taking your green beans and putting them in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag and then pouring the batter over the top. Mix and shake the bag around until each bean is covered with the batter and the Parmesan cheese. Then lay them out on a baking sheet that is lined with parchment paper and make sure they have a little bit of space in between each one. Once they're all spread out, I like to add a little bit more salt and a little bit more Parmesan cheese. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and then bake your bean fries in the oven for 30 minutes. Once they are out of the oven, you can serve them with your favorite dipping sauce. I really love these. They are so delicious and they're a really great low-carb alternative. The next recipe is going to be a mermaid smoothie bowl. First, I'm going to cut up a bunch of fruit for my smoothie bowl. One thing that I like to do to make my smoothie bowls more fun and interesting is I like to cut up my fruits in lots of different shapes and sizes. So for the melon, I'm going to use a melon baller. I'm also going to cut up some strawberries, some mango, and then I'm going to be putting some blackberries and blueberries on top as well. This is just a trick that I learned to cut a mango really easily. First, I cut around the core of the mango, and then using a cup, I push each slice on the rim of the cup, and it takes the fruit away from the skin really nicely. Then, like I said, I like to get really creative with my shapes and sizes of my fruit. So this one I'm using a piping tip as a cookie cutter, and I'm just cutting little circles out of the mango. You could also use little cookie cutters to cut out hearts or stars, whatever you want. You can really get really creative with it. I chose the circles because I thought it kind of looked like bubbles for my mermaid bowl. Now we can make our smoothie base. I'm just putting a mixture of frozen fruit into the food processor. I did choose a bunch of fruit that were really light in color so that it doesn't mess with the green color that we're going to want at the end. In this mix, I believe there is pineapple, mango, and papaya. I'm also going to add 2 frozen bananas and then blend that all together until it's smooth. Now for the secret ingredient, which is spirulina powder. You might not have heard of this, but it's a really cool ingredient and it has a lot of health benefits. You do have to be careful to not add too much because it can mess with the taste of your smoothie, but with the little bit that I added, I didn't notice it at all. Once you have the color that you want, you can pour it into your bowl and arrange your fruit on top. At the end, I decided to add a little bit of chia seeds. And that is all you have to do to make this mermaid smoothie bowl. I've seen these smoothie bowls all over Instagram. The color really has a wow factor and it really helps that it has added health benefits too. Last idea is just how I get myself to drink more water. I always like to infuse my water with some berries and also some lemon juice. Then I like to add a straw. I don't know what it is, but I always drink a ton more water when I'm drinking it through a straw. A tip to know how much water you should be drinking is I always divide my body weight in half, and then that number is the amount of ounces that you should be drinking in water. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all of these healthy recipes and tips. Before you leave this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and also check out my social media, which will be linked in the description below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!